Now here we're looking at values again. So we may want to live in our life deliberately, not on life on autopilot, directed by others' needs and wants. We want to be the captains of our ship and live more authentic selves based on an overarching vision or mission that we want to achieve, and values that will help support us in getting there. What you value depends on what you focus on in life. So that's very important to remember. Everything is controlled by your values and beliefs as they shape how you see the world and what your focus should be. If you value being frugal in your top 5 values, then you'll probably know how much you've spent today, and you probably know how much you spent on your last food shop. If you value abundance, you're probably looking at online courses to grow and you're trying to manifest wealth into your life, but you probably have no idea how much you spent today or how much you spent on your last food shop, because it just doesn't matter to you. Now we're going to have a look at a quick video of how to determine your core life values.
Help you determine and create your core life values. And we're going to go deep into helping you understand what's been controlling your life. What's the invisible force that's been controlling every decision that you make and the ultimate direction of your life. And if you can really understand this and discover it and participate with what I'm going to share with you guys today, and maybe even take out a pen and paper and go through the exercise I'm going to share with you guys, it's going to help you have awareness about the life that you have, the life you've already created, and it's going to help you identify whether or not the values that you have are actually supporting and pushing you towards where you want to go, or if they're holding you back, if they're maybe leading you down a different direction. And you might find that, in some cases for some people in their lives, they set a vision for themselves or they set goals, things they're excited for, whether it's to make a certain amount of money or to build a business or to lose weight and create a certain body or attract a relationship. But here's the challenge. If you have a list of values that are not supportive of that, then there's always going to be resistance.
So there we go on that. If your values do not align with your goals, then you may want to redesign your values to support where you can get to. How do you know what values to include first if the value list earlier didn't support you? Well, we can have a look at this. We want to ask this following question.
What's been most important to me in my life? Okay, what's been most important for me in my life?
So have a think about that and write that down. Now this is a video about discovering your core values, and we've got a little snippet here which is useful for you guys to listen to.
Like me, I want you to write it down. You'll probably pull out 10 or 12, and then I want you to go through a culling where you get rid of the ones that aren't the most important until we get to the last 5. Here we go. Here are the top core values, and I'm gonna go through these pretty fast because I don't want you to overthink it. Only write it down if it feels so much like you, you can't not write it down. What drives you? Achievement, wealth, wisdom, adventure, authority. Let's stop with those first 5. Achievement, wealth, wisdom, adventure, authority. Here's a little test. When you think about why you do your to-do list or what gets you up in the morning, do you want to achieve a lot of things? That's achievement. Are you driven by wealth or money? That's wealth. Do you want to be wise? Is it important for you to be in the know at all times? It's wisdom. Are you driven by adventure, where the money doesn't matter as much, the wisdom doesn't matter as much, but all you want is a life full of adventure? That's a core value. Authority. This means you want to be in charge. You don't like to have a boss. You don't like anyone in charge of you. In fact, making sure you are your own authority is very important. That's just an example of how those 5 work to see which ones resonate with you. And some of them, none of them might not have felt like you. That's okay too. Autonomy, balance, beauty, justice, openness, optimism, peace, pleasure, poise, boldness. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Any jump out at you? Remember, these are core values. So for example, if beauty was a core value, you would be the kind of person who would not want to leave the house unless you are looking your best. If poise was a core value, you would want to make sure that you were in good behavior at all times. If balance was a core value, you would want to make sure that everything in your life is equally balanced. You always feel you're in harmony. In fact, you would lose sleep over making sure that your life feels very balance. Some ideas to give you for core values. Okay, next 10. Authenticity, empathy, community, creativity, curiosity, determination, fairness, faith, fame, friendships. Okay, we're going to pause right there. We're halfway through. Now, you can't write everyone down. Remember, that's why I'm going fast. What are the ones that stick out to you? This is what you would change your behavior for. So for example, if friendship is one of your core values, you would put your friendships before other things. You would be thinking about them before bed. You would be optimizing for them. Those would be a priority on your to-do list. Seeing your friends would be more important than other things in your life if they're a core value. Next 10, fun, kindness, knowledge, leadership, learning, love, loyalty, growth, happiness, humor. Okay, so think about those 10. Learning is one of my top core values. So that one is major on my list. I'm always learning and also helping other people learn. I make that a priority in my life. In fact, almost all of my to-do list has something to do with learning. The whole reason I put free YouTube videos out is to make sure that other people are learning, that I'm facilitating learning. Most of my day is researching or learning for myself. That's one of my core values. All right, next ones. Influence, popularity, recognition, stability, success, status, trustworthiness. Okay, we're going to pause here. So again, these have to be a priority for you. So for example, if you felt that status was number one or a core value for you, you would want to make sure that your needs are being recognized, that your status is known. And that would be a very important part of who you are. Okay, last ones. Reputation, respect, responsibility, security, self-respect, service, spirituality, and last one, honesty. Now, I want you to think.
So there we have a list of 50, which hopefully in a slower, more descriptive way will help you to find the ones that pop out at you. And then what we want to do from there is narrow that down into the top 5. There we go. I have some lessons from Simon Sinek here in building your life with values. So listen to this.
In game theory, there are 2 types of games. There are finite games and there are infinite games. A finite game is defined as known players, fixed rules, and agreed upon objective. Baseball, right? An infinite game is defined as known and unknown players. The rules are changeable, and the objective is to perpetuate the game.
So there we have 2 very different games that are played out by people, and this is in business, this is in people's lives, and this is in sport as the example given. When you have a finite player versus a finite player, you typically have stability in the games that are being played. When an infinite player versus an infinite player, you also have stability until the resources of one are completely depleted. However, if you have an infinite player versus a finite player, then over time the infinite player will win, as they are not looking short term, they are looking at this as pretty much life and death. As with businesses, they often look to beat their competitors to make more market share in the next year, whereas companies like Tesla and Apple play infinite games which show deeper missions and values which carry them above and beyond the typical business talk of crushing the competitors. It's the same with us individuals. We should run our life based on infinite values that dictate the finite actions that we take in the world. This will help us to create more momentum to our goals, as our deeper being is aligned to helping us reach our goals. So just think, vision will help give us our endpoint, our goal that we're going after. This will dictate the behaviors that we take to get there. And those behaviors are guided by our values and the beliefs that all determine how we get and what we get from life.